when the glory comes.
I am a student of promise, easy as promising. Each school year is promising, my future is promising. But first I will promise myself that I will do my best, settle for nothing less. As I respect others, my community, and myself. I am important, yes. I am smart, yes. I can achieve, yes. I am a student of promise, yes. That's what's up, yes.
It's just an honor to be able to travel with you all. And we're going to depart, and I'm hoping that you get some rest because you got a long day tomorrow. You know, we have obligation to your parents, to your community, and that we're going to keep up with everyone that we travel with. So I'm going to start with Cleveland Heights, and we're going to add up the numbers as we go by. We should have a total of 32. The Cleveland Heights has 6. We have next Garfield Heights should have 5. Maple Heights should have 6. We have Great City of Warrensville Heights, and you have how many? You have 7. And that makes 24. We have 4 Lincoln coordinators, 2 chaperones. Chaperones, raise your hand. Give the parents a hand. These are parents. Okay, everybody up? Alert? Okay, let's tighten it up a little bit. We're probably less than 5 minutes from where we're going to meet Congresswoman Marsha Fudge's legislative assistant, Mr. Munoz. And he's going to guide and begin our tour.
Good morning. As Bob mentioned, my name is Frederick Douglass. I am the legislative correspondent for Congresswoman Marsha Fudge. We also have Carolyn Golden. I'll go ahead and let her introduce herself quickly.
I'm Carolyn Golden. I'm the legislative fellow in the office handling education. I used to be a teacher.
So we're very happy to have you. We'll go ahead, we'll cross the street, we'll make our way to the Capitol Visitor Center, and then we'll go ahead and embark on our tour.
The U.S. Capitol is our national stage.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States?
Mr. Brownback, Mr. Byrd, we the people are represented in the votes of the members. The cadence of the roll call. The balance between prudent compromise and bedrock beliefs. Congress is the crucible where views and ideas from every corner of the country are expressed, examined, and debated, considered, and considered again. Congress is where we can find our common ground.
Trying to raise your awareness is that one of the reasons why we decided to move forward with a memorial for Dr. King is that the story about the success of African Americans in this country and their contributions to this country is one of the omissions that America has yet to come to grips with. There are many stories like that that's not even in the history book of individuals who were successful, but somehow the history books do not account for that.
Yeah, that was a wonderful experience to meet the actual architect of the Dr. King Monument. Like, that was a very wonderful experience.
And the centerpiece is filled with concrete, but on average, each stone weighs about 20 tons. Okay? Yes. 3 to 4 feet. And then there is a metal cabinet inside that makes it airtight so that over 50 years the paper does not become brittle and break apart.
And I also learned that Martin Luther King's head on the monument is 3 feet tall itself, and that the words that were on the side of the monument had to get erased because they weren't the full quote.
I like how they had all his quotes going around the walls, because when you walk around, like, you can be inspired by the quotes, and you can like just read them and understand like this what Martin Luther King said when he was alive.
I have the audacity to believe that people everywhere can have meals a day for their body, education and culture for their mind, their dignity and equality and freedom for their spirit. This is some powerful stuff, guys. Some real powerful stuff.
As you know, our itinerary today, we are going to the Howard University, historically Black College University, and we'll also hit the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, which should be a lot of fun.
You guys are going to go inside, we're going to take you inside, you're going to have a small info session to give you, general knowledge about Howard, let you know about the admissions process and scholarships. After that, we're going to split you guys up into 3 groups, and then we're going to take you guys on tours around the campus. So whenever your last student comes out, I'll definitely take you guys in.
So my name is Chandra Hicks, and I'm the event coordinator within the Office of Admission. I also run the Welcome Center here in our Student Ambassador program, but you already met your 2 student ambassadors who will be giving you the campus tour when we finish. So what we're going to talk about is just life inside the classroom, outside of the classroom at Howard, social life on campus, social opportunities off campus, and then the admission process. Do well in your core courses, like your math, your science, your English, all of those. Those things are very important. If you have an opportunity to test and get into an AP course, absolutely do that, because AP courses can transfer over and be college credits and take you out of having to take a college course when you get here. So just take those things very seriously, because those look amazing on your application for school.
I learned that you need to have a certain GPA point average to get into Howard. I learned that you have to make sure that the university you pick, if you want to transfer, like schools, you have to make sure that they don't have university credits, so that you can make sure your actual credits transfer to that new school.
And then get involved. Don't just build your application and do a whole bunch of different organizations and things. Truly find a couple different organizations that you really like, whether it's sports, entertainment, something social. If you do things with your church or community service, just do things to get involved, because that shows leadership and teamwork, and we want to see that you are an involved person that's going to bring that also here. And enjoy your campus tour. It's around 30-45 minutes of our main campus. They'll let you see, I told you the life is starting to happen on campus, so you'll see students starting to come out and walk around.
And of course, if you have any questions pertaining to a particular major that you might want to be interested in, or more about just like student life or anything that you feel I don't cover, we will get to. So just let me know. Yeah, we're just gonna head up this way. So this building right here is called the Minor Building, and it's one of our oldest on campus. It pertains particularly to the School of Education. So it used to be a college for the teaching of black women, but since then it's expanded to incorporating more education classes. It is part of our beautification process. So as you can see, it's pretty old, pretty historic, but we do have plans to renovate it come this next academic year. So that's a pretty exciting moment for Howard. Renovations are always fun. So it's not to be confused with the Minor, with Minor Hall, which is where the AKAs were founded. That is elsewhere. So right now we're in front of the School of Business, which is Howard's, I guess, latest academic building. It was built in 1970. 1970. We just had our 45th anniversary, so a lot of alumni came out. It was really fun. It was also during homecoming, so the school was just like overcrowded. So, if you are interested in coming into the School of Business, for your freshman year, we have a really amazing program called the 21st Century Advantage Program. And basically what that is you come in as a freshman, and you're put, our freshman week, School of Business has a little bit something different than the rest of the schools. So, you go in, you're put on a business team, right? And this team, you have one class where you're all in it together, business orientation. And basically your team is adopted by one of the Fortune 500 companies. So you get a corporate sponsor. We are in Vernon Gymnasium, and this is our main gym on campus. A lot of our dorms have workout rooms, but this is our actual gym. Below we do have a nice heated pool. That's pretty much the field. It's a really nice field. Hampton Auditorium is the only building that is privately owned on Howard's campus that is not ours, but we still use it like it is ours. Right over here is our theater. It's for a lot of our student performances, as well as student-run sort of events. So a lot of our dance shows, a lot of our plays are here. We have one Children's Hour right now. Something cool about it is sometimes you'll have like guest people who will come through. So like Debbie Allen might do the dance class, or might sit in on a rehearsal, or Felicia Rashad might sit on a rehearsal and just say, here's some tips about this, blah, 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 give her insight. Okay, so right where we are is in front of our Fine Arts building. What happens on these steps right here is a lot of people on days like this and really nice weather, people just kind of kick it out here, because if you turn around, you'll see the yard, which is our famous, it's like kind of like a quad, I guess, for a lot of schools call it a quad. We call it the yard here on our campus. And why do we have the trees? Why is that even necessary? It's weird. Who thinks a tree? Good question. We have it because we don't have student housing for our fraternities and schools. So a lot of schools will have like off-campus housing, and it's like a frat house or a sorority house. We don't do that. What we do is we have something to commemorate all of our different organizations here on the yard, since this is our main place for all of our students. The reason for that is because that building over there, Douglass Hall, which we will get to in a second, and that building over there, Loft Hall, are pretty much where our underclassmen spend their time going to and from. There's our library, and there's fine art, and there's free week. So this is a pretty central location, and every first Friday of the month, so maybe when you guys go eat later on, when you come back out on the yard, there's all the fraternities and sororities doing their little dances. It's really out of sight.
I said my views in the front, yeah. Let me hear you run. I said my views in the middle, yeah. Let me hear you run.
Especially coming to school and coming to a black school, you know what I'm saying? Because you see people like you every day. And even though, you know, these guys are part of a different fraternity, this sorority is a different sorority, everybody's here for the same goal.
Get an education.
Get education, uplift the community around us, you know, and that sort of thing. So
just make sure y'all take advantage of it. This is an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, like just kind of soaking up the atmosphere. You know, this is first Friday. Every week is out during first Friday. You get to kind of see like what the atmosphere is like. You know, it's luckily still warm out here.
What's up, y'all? My name is Sean Walters. I'm a junior in Girls and Things Matter in Massachusetts.
Hello, I'm Ricky Madison, a junior broadcast journalism major from Elyria, Ohio.
And come to Howard, y'all. Or
Howard is live. You gonna
It's
learn
live
about
first
African
Friday.
Americans. We're gonna learn your history. Come
Yes,
here.
sir. Get socially woke about what's going on in America and blackness and police brutality.
Always be socially conscious here.
Right.
I liked the wax museum. It was amazing to see the different themes. And I did the wax hand, and I did the peace sign of my actual hand.
Walk back and forth in front of the tomb before they change. So we're gonna go and kind of get a good place to stand so we can see. But once you hit that area, no one's talking about it. This is a sacred area, so you're totally quiet.
The ceremony that you are about to witness is the changing of the guard. In keeping with the dignity of this ceremony, it is requested that everyone remain silent and standing. Thank you.
So, we welcome you to Arlington National Cemetery. Arlington National Cemetery is a shrine dedicated to all of the brave men and women that have given the ultimate sacrifice. They've given their lives on behalf of our country to protect democracy and freedom, not only here in the United States, but all around the world. And for that, we're very grateful. We're also grateful to you all, too, for coming here and honoring and celebrating the lives of these very brave men and women. We are next headed to Arlington House. That will be the next stop on our tour. Take a look on your left, ladies and gentlemen. You see that very large cross? That is the Canadian cross. And the Canadian Cross was a gift to the United States from Canada for our help with their country during World War I. There are over 150 memorial trees here at Arlington National Cemetery. You'll see them as you're going around the cemetery. They're dedicated to the various organizations, the men and women that have given their lives on behalf of our country. They're also dedicated to quite a few of the service organizations that have helped our men and women in service. Now, if you take, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, prior to Arlington National Cemetery becoming the cemetery, the Lees lived here for the first 31 years of their marriage until the Civil War broke out. It then became Arlington National Cemetery. It was signed into an executive order by President Abraham Lincoln on May 1st, 1864, turning Arlington House into a cemetery.
Just over 100 years ago, a peculiar institution existed in our country. It was called slavery, a vicious system under which 1 out of every 5 Americans in the South was owned by another human being.
to make your acquaintance. I'm so happy that you've all arrived safely. We were quite concerned. And did you have a challenge with your special carriage? Yes? Well, all is well now. And you are about to enter into the General's mansion house. It does have 21 rooms, 10 alone are bed chambers. I'm responsible for that household, top and bottom. And being that I'm a housemaid, I do start my day at 5 o'clock. Every single day I enter into that mansion by way of the kitchen, where I do retrieve water, which is heated and taken upstairs to the bed chambers. All of the bed chambers that are occupied, I do put water in the wash stands and wash basins. And I'll assist whoever's in that room or that bed chamber in their grooming needs for the day, dressing and such, as it's quite complicated for a woman to put upon her body her own stays. And now, once I have finished assisting in the dressing and the grooming needs, I would also make the beds, change the linens as necessary, clear the fireplaces and relay the fires, empty out the chamber pots, clean those and return those back to the bedrooms. I'm ever so happy when all of the chambers are not filled. That's less chamber pots to have to tend to. You are familiar with what a chamber pot is, are you not?
Yes.
Yes, very good. We shall go on from there. At 7 o'clock promptly, we do have the breaking of the fast meal, and down in the kitchen, in the dining room, where in general, and everyone is served there promptly at 7 o'clock. Throughout the rest of the day, I do go about my assignments of cleaning, sweeping, polishing, mopping, dusting throughout the household, as well as my duties as a sewer. I shall not detain you any longer as we are welcoming you into the household. I shall meet you on the other side at the kitchen door. And do enjoy your visit and make sure that you make queries. Ask questions in of doors if you have any. Enjoy your visit. Now, anything that does come from the storehouse needs to be signed out and accounted for. That would be by the clerk or the overseer or either the farm manager. Now, you did enter by way of the servant hall. That is where the servants are housed, or when they are here with their masters or mistress, and they will be kept there. As a sewer, I'm responsible for making the clothes for the slaves on this farm as well as the other farms. Each week I'm responsible for making 9 articles of clothing. This week in particular, I'm making shirts in preparation for our ration of clothing. We receive a ration of clothing twice a year. Lighter fabrics in the summer-spring months, heavier fabrics in the winter months. That as well as a wool blanket, unless you do give birth to a child, and then you receive an extra blanket and a bottle of rum, which I'm in sore need of a bottle of rum right now. And now this is the spinning room where I spend an awful lot of time. I do come by here and pick up linens. As I said, I am given the linens to make the garments and the articles of clothing each and every week for the slaves and such. As I did state before, I do have my eye on a portion of fabric in that there storehouse. And there did come one particular time where I did not produce all 9 articles of clothing. A letter was promptly sent to General and Lady Washington, who were away in Philadelphia City with the presidency. And they did send word back that what had been done shall be done, by any means, fair or foul. And that if Caroline did not complete her assignments, she would soon be set out to field. I quickly amended my ways. And so now I just spend time trying to figure out ways to acquire more fabrics and such. And for if I can make garments, extra garments, I can clothe my 6 children. And see, we are given certain things, other things we have to acquire on our own. That is the way that it is. A ration of clothing, a ration of food, places to live and such. If you work on this farm, you do live on this farm. If you work on Dog Farm, you live on Dog Farm. That is the way that it is. You are allotted Sunday as a day of rest if you are a field worker, and you can visit with your family then. But only then. Because I am a housemaid, I am subject to the will and the responsibility of attending to the visitors and guests within that very household, that very large household. So I do not get the entire Sunday off. But as the Lord has blessed me, all of my children are here. And my husband's even here currently. I say currently because my husband is rented from another family member. And so if General Washington wishes to discontinue the contract, my husband would again return to his master, to his mistress. I have no reason, no cause to fight. For I'm very blessed in that he does recognize us as a family. A lot of places do not. Most everything I do it for my family, for my children. I am trying to encourage my girls to learn how to spin. For then they would be a special skill. Most special skills are held by gentlemen, such as the blacksmith, the carpenter, people that produce a product, a specialized thing. They are more valuable than our domestic help or field laborers. You can almost compare us to a pair of shoes.
Now, slavery, you're a slave, and not just yourself. It'd be one thing for myself, Caroline, to bear the beast of burden of slavery. But see, this slavery has also changed because it'll pass down to generation to generation. An entire bloodline, a whole family line of folks can be owned by another group of people. That's property. And of course, we have a lot of children in here, this Virginia world, in this here 18th century. Your dad is a white man, maybe a slave master, and the mother's a slave woman. What is this child? Where do they fit in the world? And then the law comes. Slave code. These are the laws established early in the 1600s. The states, the status of a child. This is what we're dealing with during the life of General Washington. The status of the child born in this scenario of question, in any scenario in the institution of slavery, is based solely on the condition of the mother. If the dad is a free man of color, free white man, you name it. It don't matter. If the mother is adopted as a slave, is regarded as property, every child she will have for the entire life of this bloodline will be regarded as property, slaves. This is a picture of child slavery. This is what we endure and deal with on this Mount Vernon plantation.
Best looking group we've ever met since I've been here.
Thank you so much.
You guys are sharp, so keep it up. We expect great things. So.
Let the ladies get on first, guys.
Thank you so much.
That's the only thing that got me like get on first.
That was a lot of powerful information from Arlington National Cemetery, changing of the guard, Mount Vernon, George Washington's home, the slave reenactment. I think that it's appropriate. We're on our way to lunch. We're going to have lunch at a place called Gaspee, which was George Washington's tavern. That's where we're having lunch, and from there we're going to Frederick Douglass' home, and then we're going back to our home.
President Hayes appointed Douglass U.S. Marshal for the District of Columbia. He and his family moved to Washington. In 1877, he purchased a new home. He called it Cedar Hill.
The house itself is original. The brickwork that's under there, all the woodwork that you see, that's original material. That's the real thing that Frederick Douglass touched, the house that he walked into every day. And if you were to walk inside of it, which I encourage you to do if you can come back here in the future, you can walk inside and the rooms are furnished with his furniture, with his artwork, with his portraits. All his original things are inside of there. This has been run as a museum pretty much since he passed away. It was opened to the public by the early 1900s. It's been open for tours for over 110 years now.
It was on a mountain plantation around 1818 that Frederick Douglass was born a slave.
Amazing view, and when he lived here, this house is reflective of his status in D.C. He was a prominent federal official when he lived here. He was a U.S. Marshal. He's the first African-American U.S. Marshal in the entire Marshal Service. He was recorder of deeds. He was in charge of people's real estate records. He believed in the importance of holding on to land and owning land.
Douglass started an anti-slavery newspaper in Rochester, New York. He called it the North Star. The paper was named after the same star that guided thousands of slaves on their dangerous journey from the South in search of freedom.
He had very, very limited opportunities, but he made the most of them. And this is where he was at by the end of his life.
His courageous fighting spirit, his dedication to the cause of human rights and freedom live on.
I promised to myself that I'ma do it. I owe it to myself and all my fam that went through it. Some of them are here with me, some of them are gone. I'm blessed to be here, so I will promise in a song. Hey.
Each minute, each hour, each day, each year, I promise to be man of the year. Each minute, each hour, each day, each year, I promise to be man of the year.
This is a promise to myself.